Hello everyone from Ransford Oval on the campus or on the park of Royal Park here in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. The 2017 USA Liberty Tour continues with game number 4 as Liberty take on West Brunswick, the mighty Magpies. Hello everyone, I'm Brian Barish. Joining me in commentary this morning, or this evening back in the US, is Matthew Cox. Good morning, Coxie.
Good morning, Brian. Pleasure to be here. Beautiful morning in Melbourne. We're treating you to some of the best weather that we've had this morning. Looking forward to this game, though.
It'll be a very cracking game. The U.S. is 1-2 on this tour, of course, coming off a 64-1 loss the other night against Monash University. Should be a little bit closer today, as they match up very well against this Magpies side. Should be some good play on both sides. I don't know how well you know the Magpies there, Coxie, but a couple of good names on this. No, of course, full forward Freya Logan as well, but should be a good effort, I think, on both sides.
What I do know is that the West Brunswick Magpies are part of the VAFA, which is in its first season here in Melbourne. So nice to see female footy beginning to bloom.
All right, we're underway here as the Liberty and the White Jumpers going from, it appears, from right to left as they kick it out to Leilani Silvio. I guess that's from left to right as Silvio kicks that one in towards the sticks. That one goes off to the side. And that one will go, stays in play on that forward pocket. Ball is held up, handballed back into the middle as Mullen holds the ball up. Going after it there is Hannah Marston for the Magpies. And that one is centered out in the middle by the Liberty. And looking in there for Algozin, just out of her reach, and then picking that one up and kicking that in towards the sticks there. And it's gone through for behind off the foot of the number 8, who is Jess Nelson. So 1-0 to the Liberty as we are just underway here in the first quarter, Coxie.
Ball brought back into play for the Magpies, and they've stepped over the line in the goal square. So we're going to get a ball up top of the goal square for the Liberty. Couple of minutes into the first term here in Royal Park. Ball back up underway. Tess Laurie at the fall of the ball. Got stripped of it. The umpire calls play on. Ball just being paddled around. A quick kick got underway. It'll be punched through. No, stays in play. Close to the boundary line. And is it seen over? Ball just being pushed around. The umpires picked out a free kick, and it's going to go the way of West Brunswick. Back pocket on the broadcast side. The kick down along the boundary line's a risky one. Bounces once there in front of Silvio. And it's over the boundary line and out of play. We'll get a boundary throw in inside attacking 50 for the Liberty.
A little nice and cozy here on the outer. As the ball comes spinning back in the play, the Liberty lead 1-0. Ball comes back in, controlled by Skonechny. She stood up. Good tackle thrown in there by Gina Batty. They stay with the footy, and over to get it. There's Silvio putting her head over the footy again. Still in that corner, picked up by Robin Leslie, who's had a wonderful tour so far for the Liberty. The Magpies keeping it, and it's held up, and our umpire will throw that to the heavens quickly. Knocked backwards again as Leslie in on the ruck, controlled by West Brunswick once again. Good shepherd thrown in there again by Leanie Michaels. And then cleared out by the Magpies in the middle, but only as far as Valerie Barber-Axtell, who plays on quickly, kicks for a goal. It's across the face. Saki and Algozin are chasing it, and the New York Magpie player and Algozin will get it. Couldn't claim it cleanly. Chasing after there was Lawley, and the ball is seen over and out. Liberty lead 1-0. Opening stages, let's say probably about 3 minutes gone here in the first term.
Ball to be thrown back into play on the outer side. Just went over the back of the ruck contest. West Brunswick stripped to the footy. There's a whistle on play, and a free kick will go the way of the Magpies. Been stuck inside defensive 50 in the opening couple of minutes of this match. A scrubby kick towards the outer wing. Back on the deck in dispute. Magpies just need to get a clean possession away. They can't this time around. Arundale goes in. Can't extract it. Ball back on the deck in dispute. Magpies get a clearing kick towards centre wing. contest late on there. Nelson applies the tackle. Eventually it came out of the back of the pack, but the umpire says he'll call for it straight away. Centre wing, outer side. Liberty one behind. West Brunswick Magpies yet to score. And they're just trying to work it forward in this passage of play, although the Liberty have been able to intercept. The handball given over the top. Cordy was chasing it for the Magpies. Can't extract it. And eventually, they might get a go of it here. Liberty over the top of the footy. It'll be all wrapped up. The umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. We've moved into the middle of Ransford Oval.
Straight in the middle, where it's a little bit soupy after some rains over the last couple of days. This will be the field where the USA Freedom will be playing their semi-final match. I believe it's either this one or the Western Oval on Tuesday, as Barbara Axtell, or rather that was Hale, couldn't get it cleanly. Picking it forward and going all the way back as Erica Sacchi, the Philadelphia Hawk, throws that one onto the right, straight in the middle of the ground. It's out into the cow paddock, just nobody within, I would say, about 30 meters of the ball, but doing a good job to run on is Silvio. She handballs it back for Osthoff. The ball is a worm-burning finger.
Yet to score and yet to go inside attacking 50. Ball back into play. Good tackle there applied by Dexter. Ball pushed towards the goal line, and it is a goal. And I believe that is Skinetsky.
Yep, Skinechny.
Skinechny.
That's all right. You did a lot better at it than Peter has.
Any win I can get over Peter's good. So the USA Liberty moved to 1-1-7. The Magpies yet to score. We're about 6 minutes into the opening term here at Royal Park. And so far the USA Liberty have done all the attacking in this first term.
And Skinechny is a very good offensive player. She very quietly, I think, made her case for the Liberty tour, at least for consideration for the Freedom. She stepped over the last couple of years. Leslie gets it on a friendly bounce. She's going to line up the sticks. And that one's off to the side for another behind. Robin Leslie, who was best on ground in the first game against Manor Lakes, or that EDFL Western Region All-Stars. The game was at Manor Lakes. So 1-2-8 are the Liberty as a Magpies set to put it back into play on a sunny, if not slightly windy day here in Melbourne. Up to the far side now. Kept in by the Liberty as they're again able to punch in. There's Barbara Axthelm, who throws that one onto the right. That one sails off. Kept in play. Algazin with a centering ball that skips across the face of goal. And the ball goes out of bounds as it skitters across like a cockroach on the bathroom floor. The ball goes out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. 8-0 to the Liberty, looking for the second win on this tour, Coxie.
Oh, I'm glad I'm commentating with you on this Sunday morning. Bringing a smile to my face. Ball back underway. Ball's going to be cut off by Arundale at the top of the 50. Dishes off the handball quickly. Long ball, top of the goal square for the Liberty. Cut off by the Magpies. They dish off the handball. Good tackle there applied by Silvio. Dispossesses the Magpies of the footy. It's pushed towards the boundary line on the broadcast side. And it'll be seen over and out of play. They've done all the attacking in this first term, the USA Liberty. They're 1-2-8. Magpies yet to score. Gone about 8 minutes in the opening term here at Royal Park. Beautiful Sunday morning here in Melbourne. As we're just awaiting for the ball to be retrieved.
It's somewhere on the other side of the street. That's over in North Fitzroy somewhere. See, I've sort of got the Melbourne geography down somewhat.
We've also got a player coming from the ground a little bit worse for wear for the Magpies. So the umpire was just waiting for her to clear the space. A clearing kick for the Magpies. Bouncing ball just went past Mulligan. And it's back over the boundary line and out of play. So we'll throw it in. Half forward flank broadcast side for the USA Liberty. They're 1-2-8. Magpies yet to score.
It's the first time on this tour they've really had the sway of play on the offensive side, because it's been back and forth for 2 of the 3 games. And the other night against Monash, well, they lost 64-1, and they only really had legitimate chances inside 50 in the last 5 minutes of the game. Of course, they also had 15 players inside the forward arc. As that one is centered into the middle, Arundel giving chase. It squirts out, looking for Barbara Axthelm, who's beset upon by a flock of Magpies. Very quickly, umpires picked out a free kick, and it'll go the way of the Magpies. Valerie Barbara Axthelm, who's played extremely well, a member of the Seattle Grizzlies, originally with the Arizona Lady Hawks. And that one is out to the right side. That one off the top. Here come the Magpies back the other way, outer wing position. And then going in after it was, looked like Stablin there, picked up by Barbara Axthelm. Centering ball high in the air, holds a raffle. Nice mark in the middle by Kathleen Michaels. So Michaels will go and play on. Throws that one on to the right. That's a shot for goal, but only one person back there. That was the fullback for the Magpies, and she makes a can of corn catch. Throws that one out to the near side. One hops in on Even, the captain, looking for Quokka, and Quokka bends down and picks it up. She's beset upon quickly there by the 56, who's Penny O'Brien. The ball is still in dispute, hugging the boundary line like a teddy bear, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a boundary throw-in about 45 meters or so. It all looks the same from here, from this odd vantage point. The USA Liberty 1-2-8. West Brunswick, no score. Brian Barish with the great Matthew Cox here on USAFL.com. And of course, stay tuned, because at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific, we'll have the USA Freedom and the International Cup clash against the European Crusaders. Ball comes back into play, and it's picked up. They work it out the back to Arundel. Throws that one onto the right towards the sticks. Dropped in front by Algazin. Ball is paddled around like a paddle ball, picked up by Leslie straight in front. She squares up, and it goes across the face. Still in play, however, as the Magpies trying to rustle that one through. It's snapped for goal, and I think it's there. Yes, it is. That's a goal. It was a goal mouth scramble in front. I didn't see who got it. We'll probably give it to Claire Algazin, because she was right there. I'll probably get corrected later, but we'll give that to Algazin. So second goal for the Liberty. They go to... Wrong team, Brian. They go to 2-14. West Brunswick yet to score, as we try and figure out the score. I had this down to a science for the... I did it again. I had this down to a science. There we go. There's a correct score. 14-0 in favor of the Liberty.
I'm glad you're controlling that computer.
Yeah.
Ball back underway in the middle. Liberty flick out the handball quickly to Quokka. Goes towards the half-forward flank on the outer side for the Liberty. They're attacking again. Good tackle, though, applied by the Magpies, and they get a high ball towards the centre wing outer side. The race is on. Impacting the contest there was Mulligan. Picked the ball up, tried to get the handball away. It's just socket along the carpet for the Liberty. Mulligan applies the tackle again. Magpies get a kick towards the half-forward flank. It's cut off by the Liberty. Oh, fresh edge shot at it that time around by Sikora. And we're all wrapped up just on the edge of what looks like the cricket pitches here on Ransford Oval. No chance of playing cricket here today, though, as the Liberty kick the ball forward. It's going to be cut off. Nice mark taken in the middle by the Magpies, and it's in the hands of Dexter. Wanting to attack for the first time this morning, the Magpies. They're yet to score. 2-2-14, the Liberty. Dexter comes towards the broadcast side. Beautiful drop punch taken by Bowling. Centre wing broadcast side for the Magpies. Now a high kick towards the flank. Pushed back along the ground. Silvio, who's been involved in a lot of it early on the deck deal, and she's being pinged for holding the footy. So a free kick's going the way of Logan, and there's a penalty as well. Are we paying 50s or 25s?
Well, we should pay 25s, but the way that we're running, I believe this might actually be a
50-metre penalty, yep.
Or it might be 25, though. No, it's 25.
We can't bag the umpire too much because he was up here having a laugh with us a little earlier.
About us bagging him?
Yeah, correct. Just don't tell him that.
Nope. Whoa, over the mark is called.
Yeah, and that'll bring her to the top of the goal square. So Logan to get the first scoring opportunity here for the West Brunswick Magpies. Right on the goal line, they stand the mark. She'll be brought around directly in front. Logan. A little bit of a breeze blowing behind her back, but not too much to speak of. Comes in, puts it on its way. The first goal there for the Magpies. They're 1 straight 6. They trail the USA Liberty 2-14.
Freya Logan, who I guess we'll plug her podcast, the Play Sports Like a Girl podcast, along with Jocelyn Sipe. And the only player I know on this West Brunswick team, so that's why I was pretty excited to see that they were playing. I was like, hey, Freya, as the ball comes back in the middle of the ground. As we mentioned, we got the European Crusaders and the USA Freedom, a very important game for the Freedom, because if they win that game, they're on to the semifinals against either Great Britain or Canada, right back here on this ground Tuesday afternoon. Once we figure out where it is, we'll lock down the time for you. Meanwhile, straight in front, Alga's in. The ball was smothered like some Waffle House hash browns. Ball stayed in play right near the behind post. Snacks on the mill. Everyone down mushroom farming. Actually, that is the goal post. It all looks the same from here, Coxie, and we'll have a ball up in the shadows of the gum trees and the posts. Ball is knocked down and cleared out nicely by West Brunswick. And taking the mark there was Georgia Westbrook. Westbrook comes out to the near side. She's beset upon quickly. It'll roll, it'll skip, it'll bounce. It'll almost be corralled by Liz Bowling, and she's been bowled for a duck out of bounds. It'll be a boundary throw-in. 14-6. 2-2 plays 1 straight. I wouldn't mind playing some cricket. I know it's not in season, but I love cricket. I want to play some cricket before I leave here. I just want to get in the nets.
Peter Holden would be good for that. Yeah. Good, mate.
Ball comes back in the play. That one is soccered quickly. It's lasered in front. And then looking for a hand pass was Barbara Axthelm. And finally over to oblige there was Mullen. Mullen turns that one in. No, juggled and dropped. Looking for Algozin again. Comes out to Arundel. Again, that one was dropped in front. And, that was a dangerous tackle. Is already down on her knees. And getting up slowly. Nothing in that. They were just going for the footy. I believe that was Algozin. The ball is knocked down once again. Still in that forward pocket. Silvio wheels and deals, but bounces into the defender. And up, turned over to Lore Cuoca. So Cuoca will go back. She plays her footy for the Sacramento Suns. Played for Wollongong for a time. And the unicorn-haired forward puts that one up forward, and that one is marked defensively. The Magpies will have a chance to shake the etch-a-sketch and drop something new, Coxie.
A risky kick across the face of goal, but it pays off. Mark taken at centre half back by the Magpies. We'll be looking to try and get another score before quarter time. It's an up and under kick. Comes off hands, and the Liberty look to attack again. Stripped of the ball that time around was Skaroka. Ball on the deck in dispute. Centre half forward for the Liberty. Magpies emerge with the footy. They get slung off, and the umpire says that's holding the ball. Free kick going the way of the Liberty at centre half forward, just outside attacking 50. And it is in the hands of Barbara Axtell. She goes inside attacking 50 with the kick. Comes off hands, waiting out the back, scooping it up. Look now for West Brunswick Magpies. Ball back on the deck in dispute. And again, the Liberty able to trap it inside their forward 50. The umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. Forward pocket, outer side for the Liberty. They're 2-2-14. West Brunswick Magpies, 1 straight 6.
Here on USAFL.com, that was the sultry tones of Matthew Cox. Alongside me, I'm Brian Barish. About 2 minutes to go here in the opening term. One more game for the Liberty. It'll be on Wednesday against Oakley Crushers. And right now, the ball up on that far side as Arundel and Algozan and a pack of thousands, as that one is even. Long handball up over the top as that was Osthoff who had it momentarily. Pill on the ground. It comes out to Arundel, who had to compose herself for a second, and then it goes up on the far side. Going in after it again, there was, that was Westbrook. And then we have a whistle. No, we don't. Play on, says the umpire. And then picking it up again, looks like Leslie, straight into the middle of the ground. Chasing after it is Skonechny. Soccered along the ground, but only as far as Leslie. Doing defender, off the defender. And then right at the top of the goal square, dog pile on the rabbit. And the umpire crosses his arms like the Monsignor. And we'll have a ball up straight in front. Liberty lead 14-6. The only goal for West Brunswick by Freya Logan from directly in front after 2 25-meter penalties. And that one has gone through for a behind. The goal umpire, I believe, has a little helper sitting on top of her shoulders. I love country football. I love suburban football here in Australia. So that takes the Liberty on to 2-3-15. West Brunswick, 1 straight 6.
Not long left to go until quarter time. West Brunswick would be hoping they're not going to concede, but they've turned the ball over immediately. Silvio on the quarter-time siren here at Royal Park comes in, right foot kick on its way. Not a bad-looking drop punt, but it comes off hands.
Hit it again.
And unfortunately, the umpire can't quite hear the siren blowing. Now he does. Quarter time here at Royal Park.
Well, you know what they said in medieval times, 10th time's a charm.
2-3-15 the USA Liberty, 1 straight 6 West Brunswick. Not a bad first term by the Liberty.
No, they just had that one push inside 50. A couple of disciplinary lapses led to the goal, but great job there, and great push by Claire Algozan as well as Skonechny, who's getting the ball forward, and Valerie Barber-Axel, who's played on the back and on the wing so far, has done a very, very good job of pushing forward. So the score quarter time, it's the USA Liberty 15, West Brunswick Magpies 6. We'll be back for the second quarter right after this. You're watching the 2017 USA Liberty Tour here on USAFL.com.
Beautiful San Diego, home of the 2017 USAFL Nationals, including, for the first time, an Australian division. Imagine kicking off your end-of-season footy trip in this amazing US city, with your club playing in the biggest football tournament in the world.
Chrome Sportswear designs and manufactures custom sportswear with a focus on quality and reliability. We're Australian, we've got 10 years experience, and we've got a US base in Oklahoma. Who better to trust than an Aussie company for your AFL gear? Get your customised men's and ladies' AFL uniforms, outerwear and training gear from Black Chrome. Black Chrome's custom compression can enhance performance and recovery, reduce lactic acid and accelerate your warm-up. Black Chrome is trusted by a number of AFL leagues, including the US AFL, as their official supplier. Try out our Design Your Own tool and see Black Chrome's full range of sportswear at blackchromeusa.com. Join us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram.
Back here at Ransford Oval on Royal Park here in Parkville, Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. It's the USA Liberty 15, West Brunswick Magpies 6. Brian Parrish alongside Matthew Cox with you here. Coxie, so far a pretty good start to this one. The Liberty getting something, as I mentioned, they're not terribly used to so far on this tour. They're getting a lot of play inside their offensive arc.
Yeah, and I think the thing that impressed me the most was that whenever it went inside their forward 50, they kept it inside their 50. The Magpies looked to come out a couple of times, but the way they just set up across the half forward line meant that every time there was a hopeful kick coming out of the pack, the Liberty that were there descended straight back in, and it applied the pressure to the Magpies really well.
Now, if you watch enough US AFL footy, one thing that, and AFLW, we're seeing a little bit of it, is that the ball is very almost honeypot. There's a lot of congestion around the footy. I think we're seeing that open up just a little bit more today. We saw it open up a little bit more against Monash, and a lot of it was against the Liberty, but it's good to see teams making leads, really spreading it out, making play more of a recognizable type of footy in terms of just moving the ball, matriculating the ball down the field.
And that's a big thing. That's, I suppose, where the game's got to go for women's football. This year in the VFL women's competition, the good sides they're getting stronger in that area. They're becoming more structural. They're spreading out. They know where to kick to at the precise time. So it is something that is coming into the game. But I suppose in the lower levels of the competition for sides like West Brunswick, which are in their first year, I believe, this year in the VAFA competition. So it's going to be a learning curve. For sides like that, which, as you say, is still a lot of congestion around the footy.
Yep, and we're seeing that a lot with some of the players, some relatively new players on the Liberty. We mentioned Amy Arundel, who was in her second full season, or her first full season, as well as Erica Sacchi, but also a number of veterans on this team, such as Kaylin Deal, as we're about to hear the siren blast in our ears in just a second.
It's not as bad as some of the grounds.
No, I agree. And I've been to a few. They'll be kicking from right to left, Liberty, in their white jumpers. Third time on this tour they've worn white. Their clash strips are black, and that's what color the Magpies are wearing. Absolutely beautiful day for footy.
And the Magpies wearing the traditional Collingwood strip from the AFL, the black and white stripes.
Well, if you're black and white, you got to be the Magpies.
That's it.
That's a rule. It's written in there somewhere. I love to see for there to be an American Magpies footy team. All right, umpire holds the ball aloft. Second 20-minute quarter is underway, and out of the middle, it's knocked forward by Lorraine Quokka, who bootlegs around, throws that one onto the right. Inside the arc, they come quickly out of the hands of Algazin. They dig in after it, right through the wickets there of the 17, which was Tegan Bodle. And then that one is pushed back in the other direction. Oh, she got legged there, was Michaels, but that one kicked straight into the hands of Algazin. Algazin kicks for a goal, and it's there! Claire Algazin kicks her second. And the Liberty wastes no time here in this second quarter, putting another major on the board. As that takes them to 3-3-21. And West Brunswick 1 straight 6. Doesn't get any better of a start for that. Coxie?
No, a very good start, and not the one that the Magpies would have been after. It was a quick clearance for the Liberty, straight inside 50. Again, Magpies try and repel. It's cut off, sent straight back over their heads.
It was about as effective as a hippo on a moon bounce.
Thank you very much. Ball back underway in the middle. Oh, the Liberty just slipped over at the crucial moment. They had players around to support, and they'll send the ball towards the half-forward area. Bouncing ball inside 50 for the Liberty. Going to ground there was Schlipley Schneider. And bobbling around, extracting the footy now, Bodel for the Magpies. Just puts it out wide. Half-forward flank out of side for the Liberty. Ball goes over the boundary line and out of play in front of O'Brien. We'll throw it in just inside attacking 50, out of side for the Liberty. 3-3-21 to 1 straight 6. Early stages in the second term here at Royal Park. Ball back underway. They're just fighting for the footy on the deck. The umpire hovering, says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. Just as always, the ball comes out of the pack.
Just the timing is impeccable, isn't it?
Ball back underway. And again, it's just being pushed along the deck at the moment. Liberty, kick smothered there by Dexter. Ball back on the deck in dispute. Magpies trying to get a quick handball away. Involved there is Stablin. And the umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. Over to you, Brian, to try and break things up.
We try to release the pressure here. Ball goes to ground. Quokka picks it up. She's wrapped up immediately. Just tried to get a handball off, looking for Bernie Arski, and then paddling that one on the ground was Stablin. 3 players involved there. Good little bit of friendly pushing and shoving there, and going in to get it there was Penny O'Brien. That one's straight into the middle of the ground, right in front of the no parking sign, which is conveniently blocked by you. We'll have a ball. Well, and as you're home, by the way, we want to shout out to Grace, who's doing a fantastic job on the camera, first time. And as they come out to the near side, through the hands of Saki, who tries to throw a shepherd in for Algozin, and then bumping her off the ball there was Luca now, and then that one is snapped for goal, and that one's off to the side and through for one behind.
No.
Oh, no, it is through for a goal.
The umpires come in and overruled him.
Yeah, I looked like I
thought it was a point.
Yeah, well, listen, I mean, I have 4 eyes and none of them work, and I have 2 extra ones, and they don't seem to be helping either. And I didn't even see who kicked that. I think it was Algazin, but in any event, or I'm sorry, Robin Leslie. Thank you, Coxie. Coxie on the ball, so it's 22 plays 6.
Says Mark in the back pocket, out of side by Bodel. High kick. He's going to go out on the full. So a free kick will go the way of the Liberty. Half forward flank out of side. Again doing all the attacking in this second term. Long ball inside attacking 50. Just over the back, Laurie. Got a hand to it. Brought it to ground. Chasing after it is Bodel. Able to get through traffic and then just boots the ball back towards the 50-metre arc. Bouncing one. Smith involved. Lost it. Liberty with possession of the footy again. They look to come back inboard with a looping handball over the top. Magpies, though, with the numbers. Stopping and propping there was Mulligan. Ball bobbling around. Inside attacking 50 for the Liberty. Good mark taken on half forward. They'll come back inside. Look at a dash there from the Liberty. Goes to the forward pocket. Racing towards the boundary line, and it goes out of bounds. We'll throw it in forward pocket, broadcast side for the Liberty there. 3-4-22, West Brunswick, 1 straight 6.
Erica Saki chasing the ball down. This is her with Amy Arundel, the beginning of the women's program for the Philadelphia Hawks. She slaps it down like a volleyball spike. Thought she was Carrie Walsh Jennings for a moment. Casey's her husband. How I know that, I didn't know. That one is skittered through, picked up by Quokka, spin around handball, and so was Arundel, but that was to Harvey the Rabbit because no one was there. O'Brien picks that one up, and that one goes on slowly. Leslie, or rather even, takes down McPherson without the footy. Umpire was okay with that. Swing and a miss on the handball, still controlled on the ground, and then even again to throw down her opponent there. Again, at that time it was in Dexter. And that one is out in the middle. And here comes Saki. Turnaround shooter. Throws that one in the middle. Handcuffed Al Gozin, who found Barbara Axthelm. Barbara Axthelm carries out like a loaf of bread. Now squares up from 25, but it's just off to the left. And another minor score. Valerie Barbara Axthelm, who kicked the only point of the game the other night against Monash, and gets another point here. So that takes them on to 3-5-23. West Brunswick, 1 straight 6. Brian Barish with you here alongside Matthew Cox, whose voice you're going to hear now.
Thank you very much, Brian. So the Magpies to bring the ball back into play. And what they've got to do here is just hit up a target. High ball, 2-on-1 in favour of the Magpies, just over the head of O'Brien, who goes back in after it. Got a little kick around. Did it go the distance to Westbrook? It didn't. She had to play on. A quick kick down along the boundary line. Just goes out of play in front of Alberico. There we go.
Taisha Alberico.
So boundary throw-in. You can tell it's an early Sunday morning here in Melbourne.
We've had one coffee between the two of us.
It's not going well. But O'Brien going back after it for the Magpies. On the deck as well, Arundel pushes it back over the boundary line for the Liberty and out of play. Just in front of our broadcast position here in Royal Park. Beautiful Sunday morning here in Melbourne.
We have one more game after this, of course, at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific. It'll be the Freedom and the Crusaders in round 3 of the AFL International Cup. If they win, when they come back here on Sunday, they'll be playing for a chance to go to Etihad Stadium. Right through the hands of Michaels. Nelson getting in there, throws in a bump for Peterson. Handballed out the back, looking for Berniarski, and then sliding in safe at second base was Peterson, and she is slow to get up, but right in front of us, and then pushed off the ball there was Even, and then getting it out the back was Dexter. Throws that one onto the left foot, which is her right foot. That went high into the air, out, takes an unfriendly bounce away from Osthoff. Great steal there by Silvio. She'll run the 30. It's a ski jump ball, and all by herself was the defender there in 30. In bowling, I think it was Hannah Marston, 47, then goes out to the left side. Well, not the greatest of kicks, as that one was about as ugly as my 9th grade history teacher, and the ball goes out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in about 40 meters around. The ball comes spinning back in the play now. Going after it again was Lucy Mulligan. Trying to tiptoe over the no stop sign again. Handballs that one over to Bodle. Bodle able to get it out, but only about 4.5 meters. Ball goes to ground, and the ball is out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in, and the right forward pocket, roughly 40 meters around for the Liberty, who lead 23-6 here in Game 4 of their USA Tour.
They've got 1 goal to this term so far, the Liberty, heading to their quarter-time score as a centering ball comes towards the top of the square. It's off hands though, and through for another minor. 3-6-24 the USA Liberty, 1 straight 6 the West Brunswick Magpies, and again they just need to hit up a target now coming out of defensive 50. Long ball towards the outer side. Well, it's hit a target, but it's for the wrong team. USA Liberty take a mark just inside attacking 50 on the outer side. High ball back towards the top of the goal square. No one able to take the mark. Laurie going back in after it. Ball extracted. Luke now getting it across for the Magpies. High ball towards the outer side over the head of Westbrook. And now coming back, the Liberty. High ball back towards the top of the goal square. Comes off hands. No one can take the mark. And it's all wrapped up. Ball eventually spills free. Kick along the carpet. Searching for Batty. Might have been shoved. The umpire said nothing doing. Ball comes out the pack. Here to Saki. Saki kicks it towards the top of the goal square. Again, no one can take the mark. It's on the carpet. And pushing towards the behind post, which it hits. And that's something that you don't have in America, the padding around the goalposts, I believe, Brian, you were telling me earlier.
Not only that, but, you know, if somebody runs into that behind post, the behind post doesn't give a whole. Well, it gives a little bit, not a whole lot. Here it's plugged into the ground and doesn't give at all. Saki, she got legged. The umpire was okay with that. Peterson turns and fires. Oh, just got a cuticle to it on the line, and then out to the near side. That's going to be awfully close, and the umpire. Well, he's called the ball out of bounds. I don't know if he's called it out on the full. No, he has called for a throw-in. That one was awfully close. Did get a little bit of paint, and the ball will come in about 50 meters around. So here we go. Wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Ball comes back into play, and then chasing after it. Good job by picking that up by the Magpies. Just for a second, as in there was Osthoff again, and then rushing through like a house on fire there was Barbara Axthelm. That's been her MO on this entire tour. Michael's able to disrupt the kick out of the back. Ball on the ground. Westbrook picks it up. She had to come up from her knees. Going in to get it there is Deal, who's come all the way from the back. Even tried to do it, and that ricocheted off. And then handballs it in again, Westbrook, and a good job by Stablin to keep it in front of her. O'Brien couldn't keep it. There is Stablin. As Stablin throws it on to the left in desperation. Good shepherd there, throwing by Peterson, who's going to chase after it, and the ball goes out of bounds. Great job by the Baltimore-Washington Lady Eagles defender and Stablin, who played on the Freedom back in 2015, the last time they played an international match against Canada. Into the middle, here's Barbara Axtell. Went and slipped on a banana peel. Super Mario Kart style into the middle there for Bowling, and Bowling goes out to the left side now as Cuoca throws that one onto the right, high up into the air, marked defensively, and the Magpies will have a chance to clear their lines as they trail by 3 straight kicks. It's 3-6-24 for the Liberty, 1 straight 6 for West Brunswick, just under 8 to play here in the second term.
Again, no mark coming out of defensive 50, but they've got the numbers around the footy. The kick a little off target. Good pressure being applied by Arundel, pushes the ball back towards the boundary line. O'Brien, did she keep it in? She did. Arundel, little kick around the body, hits the umpire on the way through. Picked up here by Saki. Centering ball for the Liberty, just a little too short, comes off hands. Back on the deck in dispute. Oh, Magpies get shoved off the footy. Saki going back in after it for the Liberty. It's all wrapped up. The umpire said we're going nowhere. 45 metres out from goal, broadcast side for the Liberty. Little tap goes down there, bounced awkwardly for Arundel, who continues to chase after it. She's under pressure from a couple of Magpies, goes to ground, it's able to trap the ball in and eventually gets the handball away. Dexter coming through for the Magpies is all wrapped up. And we're going to get a ball up right in front of us here in Royal Park. 13 minutes into the second term, 3-6-24, plays 1 straight 6. Both ruck women missed it that time around. Magpies clearing kick here. Is out on the full, so a free kick to go the way of the Liberty.
The umpire pretending he's an airplane going landing over at Tullamarine Airport as a free kick from Captain Lizzie Even. That one is up high off the hands of the defender, but there are 3 players right there. Great job by Barbara Axthelm, who kicks for goal, and that has gone off to the side. Well, a great job of some footballing jiggery pokery there by Valerie Barbara Axthelm with the little right shoulder juke move, but she gets all of 1 point for that. No style points here in footy. That takes them on to 3-7-25. 1 straight 6 for West Brunswick. As we hear the 10 o'clock to oh, I forgot the name of it, Craigie Byrne, thank you. 10 o'clock as they come out to the near side. There is Lucy Mulligan, who takes the mark. Just want to try and string some kicks together. That drop wasn't the best. The ugly kick comes from it. Saki can't pick it up. O'Brien pushes her in the back, no call. Comes down straight out in the middle of the ground, picked up again, only as far as Marston, and Marston's able to get to it. They have not claimed much territory, the Magpies, as partly ineffective kicking, but mostly good defense. Centering ball as Cordy went inboard, but in fact found white jumpers. There again, that one is tipped off the top. There's a handball back from Algozin, and then just getting it out nicely was the Magpies. They have 3 jumpers there. Saki puts in a hard tackle, comes out to the near side. Arundel picks it up. She has to go forward. O'Brien takes her. That's going to be a high tackle. Was good pursuit by O'Brien, but just a little high as she got the Fairbanks, Alaska native Amy Arundel up on the shoulders, so it'll be a free kick. She's 2 kicks from goal, Coxie.
They're very lucky not to be pinged for holding the ball. A kick into the woman on the mark, which was O'Brien. Ball inside 50 now. Peterson's all wrapped up, kicked along the carpet. Again, Arundel goes back in after it. She's been impressive in this second term for the Liberty. The handball comes out of contest by Barbara Axthelm. And I'm getting a nod from Brian, so I must have got that right. Ball towards the top of the goal square for the Liberty. Pushed away by Luke now. Geez, there's a couple of names on this list I'm not going too well with this morning. Liberty half forward flank out of side. Wraps the ball up. And eventually the umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. I told you, I only had one coffee this morning, Brian.
We're not all Mike Emmerich, man. You know, we're not all. Remember, in Soviet Russia, football kicks you. As the ball comes back in the middle, there's Barbara Axthelm. Will she finally get one?
No.
Not on this occasion. Just off to the side. Well, Barbara Axthelm's got a pair of dice in her hand, and it keeps coming up snake eyes as that takes them on to 3-8-26. It's now a 20-point lead over West Brunswick as we have, the clock on the wall says 3 o'clock. No, 4 minutes left to go here in this first half of play. And after this one, remember, we'll be hauling Derriere over to Melbourne Uni in time for the Freedom match in IC-17. Ball goes to ground, picked up by O'Brien. Stayed with it and then tackled over. Still in play up on the boundary line as slow to get up there was Cass Smith. And the ball is nurdled out of bounds as we pull out the cricket terms, about 15 meters around. Brian Barish alongside Matthew Cox from girlsplayfooty.com. And we also want to recognize Peter Holden for getting us set up here with all of the equipment and providing us both with an education in audio visual technology we will take for us for the rest of their lives. Out into the middle, and it's picked off by Luke now. Well, Jess, we butchered your name. We deeply apologize. Come out to the near side. And that one is what? Luxie. Thank you. Out to the far side. And again, thanks to Grace down there who's bringing you the pictures and doing a fantastic job, especially considering the viewpoint here. As here's Nelson. Nelson on the bootleg. She'll square up into the middle, looking for a mark and getting it. And Algozin will play on and kick a goal. That's number 3 for Claire Algozin. And a great job by Nelson on the pick. Came around to avoid the defenders. Put that one on an absolute platter as she served up some filet mignon for Algozin, who took out her knife and fork and dined on the goodies as they go to, what is that, 4-8-32. Thank you. 4-8-32 as we pull out the Mets with absolutely no coffee. 1 straight 6. It's a 26-point lead for the Liberty in the waiting moments of the third term as we try to keep the wheels on.
Only a couple of minutes to halftime, Brian.
It's in the second term. I didn't even get the quarter right. My goodness.
Ball inside 50s taken by McPherson.
We still have one more game left
for the Magpies. We're just warming into it. Ball pushed towards the outer side. O'Brien chasing after it. Rolls out of play just in front of the West Brunswick bench.
Just want to shout out to the USA Liberty coaching staff, USA Revolution coaching staff, Tom Ellis, Jason Becker, Martin Coventry, and Dan Sarbacker, who just walked by as they're still smarting after that loss to Papua New Guinea. Peterson out the back. That one was smothered and knocked down, continuing on with it, and then picked up nicely. Big hit by Skonechny. That's going to clear Algozin again. Or check that. That was Arundel, and she is wayward once again. So
8 scoring opportunities this quarter for the Liberty.
Yep, and well, they're about as straight as a moth at the moment. And it's 33-6 as they put the ball back in the play through, it looks like, Smith up the left side.
Half back flank on the outer side. The Magpies unable to get a clean possession again. It was pushed back towards the goal posts for the Liberty, but it just goes to the near side and over the boundary line and out of play. So we'll throw it in. Forward pocket broadcast side for the Liberty. 4-9-33 plays 1 straight 6. And about 30 seconds left on the clock in the first half. Ball to the deck. Magpies try and get a clearing kick, trying not to concede another one. Arundel comes in, tried to fire the handball out, or Smith may got one high. The umpire says no, give it to me, I'll ball it up. Inside attacking 50, broadcast side for the Liberty. Pushed to ground, Arundel just fumbled it, goes back in after it and flicks the handball out. That's half-time here in Royal Park, and it is 4-9-33, the USA Liberty, the West Brunswick Magpies, 1 straight 6.
And luckily for us, Coxie, the play was right in front of us because, let's face it, on the other side of the ground, that's practically New Zealand over there. But a good job by the Liberty in all seriousness, because really what they've done is hemmed in, and more importantly, West Brunswick is getting some good outlets. They're making some good leads. The kicks just aren't coming off, and Arundel, Saki, Skonechny, Alguzin, they're all really just hemming them in and keeping them marooned in this side. And more importantly, they're creating chances. Valerie Barber Axthelm's had, I believe, 3 or 4 behinds, and she really, I think, deserves a goal on this tour because of her work rate. She's working really, really well. So we'll see if the Liberty can keep it up. I mean, the trend says they will, but the third quarter is the premiership quarter. You never know.
It is, and you just hope for West Brunswick. As you say, there were a couple of times there where they did move the ball okay. You just hope they get some reward for effort in the second half. So
that's the first half of footy under our belts. 40 minutes of football. It's the USA Liberty 33, West Brunswick 6. We're going to step aside and take a break, take a breath, and pretend we're drinking some coffee. And we'll be back for the second half when we return. You're watching the 2017 USA Liberty Tour of Melbourne, Australia, and you're watching it here on USAFL.com.
Beautiful San Diego, home of the 2017 USAFL Nationals, including, for the first time, an Australian division. Imagine kicking off your end-of-season footy trip in this amazing US city, with your club playing in the biggest football tournament in the world.
Black Chrome Sportswear designs and manufactures custom sportswear with a focus on quality and reliability. We're Australian, we've got 10 years experience, and we've got a US base in Oklahoma. Who better to trust than an Aussie company for your AFL gear? Get your customized men's and ladies' AFL uniforms, outerwear and training gear from Black Chrome. Black Chrome's custom compression can enhance performance and recovery, reduce lactic acid, and accelerate your warm-up. Black Chrome is trusted by a number of AFL leagues, including the USAFL, as their official supplier. Try out our Design Your Own tool and see Black Chrome's full range of sportswear at blackchromeusa.com. Join us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
All right, back here at Royal Park here in Parkville, Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, at halftime of the game between the USA Liberty and West Brunswick as the Liberty lead 33-6. Brian Barish alongside Matthew Cox, who is just stepping back into the booth, and joining us here in the commentary box today for this one is the assistant coach of the USA Revolution men's side that's here competing in the International Cup, Dan Sarbacher, who's played, by the way, in 4 of these, as we've mentioned during the course of the tour, his first as coach. Good morning, Sars.
Hey, how are you today?
That's another day in paradise. We're watching
beautiful weather. It's way better than the winters we get back home, that's for sure.
And I think slightly better than the game you had yesterday against Montrose, I would imagine.
Yeah, we took a bit of rain over the night. The field held up pretty well. The forecast actually called for rain throughout most of the day, so we were anticipating a wet weather game. It ended up staying dry for us, and then the Montrose seniors got wet. I think by the fourth quarter, had a fair bit of rain coming down, but clear skies today. Touch of breeze. Should be a nice day for a few footy matches.
And of course, the USA Freedom playing in their IC match. Let's talk about the game yesterday with the men, with the USA Revolution. That game against Papua New Guinea, they ended up getting up by 37 points. And let's talk about that, because I think we were expecting a similar game to RSA. Obviously, a lot more physical and obviously a lot more polished with their skills. Yeah,
that's always been a really good side. They've actually made the finals of every IC, and we've seen that a couple times over my playing career. Went down to them by 1 point back in 2005, but that's the closest we've gotten to them. I think certainly the standard of football has gotten better since then. And we watching film of their first game against Ireland, we thought we had a really good chance. I think the scoreboard was a little deceptive yesterday. I think the game played a lot closer than the final score indicated, but their skills in the first match against Ireland, they missed a lot of kicks, dropped a lot of balls. I think their timing and sequencing was off. We thought we really had a chance. Yesterday, they seemed to link up almost effortlessly. Their skills really shined. I don't know if they put together the best game of their lives against us. Unfortunately, might have been the result. But good on them. They played really well and kind of picked us apart in the third term where they started to pull away.
Camera's about to power off. I'll ask you this question very quick. Oh, sorry, Coxie. So let me ask about that first quarter, because that first quarter was played at a very helter-skelter. Use the tilt. Use the zoom. Thank you. And that first quarter was played at a very helter-skelter pace. How much did that take out of the boys, do you think?
I don't think that much. To be honest, we were prepared for that. This is the fittest side we've ever brought here to the International Cup, and the boys were ready for that. I think the pace steps up from what they're used to playing, and that's always a piece of adjustment. The style of play that Papua New Guinea has, the level of skill they have, their ability to play on quickly and really get into the match, and their playing style, we probably could have benefited from slowing down a little bit, but that's more of a pace issue really than a fitness issue. So I don't think that took that much out of us in the end, but I think what early in the first term, we kicked the opening goal. They responded with one. We got the next one. They replied again, and by the end of the first term, I think it might have been 3 goals 0 to 2 goals 1, if my memory serves. So, we were neck and neck with them, and I think we were even dictating play for a bit of that first half. But it started to slip away from us in the third. I think they played in their lives.
So let's talk about, we have the game on Tuesday against France. So the way the situation is right now, there's only 2 undefeated teams left, New Zealand and Ireland, and whoever threw the dartboards to make up the IC-17 schedule determined that those 2 teams will be playing last. So what will eventually, and of course, as we found out on last Sunday, there are no draws. So there will be a winner and there will be a loser, as one of those teams will go to 4-0 and punch there. So that'll be a preliminary final. But what that means now is that there may very possibly be 3 teams with 1 loss. The loser of that New Zealand-Ireland game, the winner of, if the USA wins, they'll be at 3-1, and of course we play France, and then we've got Papua New Guinea, who can go to 3-1 with a win over South Africa. So it's pretty clear that you guys are going to want as many points as possible, and you guys are going to want to win by as much as possible. what does that do to sort of your game plan? I imagine it wouldn't change it much, but what's the mindset going into that game?
Yeah, well, so first and foremost, we need to get a win. Sitting at 2-1, our only chance still to make the grand final is to go 3-1 and slip into that second spot. So as you articulated, on the other side of the groupings, New Zealand and Ireland, both undefeated. So one of those teams will go through undefeated. So that'll end up being the top seed. And then that sets up a situation where if we do beat France, there'd potentially be 3 teams at 3-1. So first and foremost, we've got to get a win. That's the simplest thing. So like any game prep, we're looking at who's fit, who came away injury-wise, that's going to be ready for the game, and who really needs a rest day. We need to manage their bodies. So getting a W is the most important part. And let's be honest about it. France is a top division side. They're in this division for a reason. So this is no cakewalk for us. Although, as play has determined thus far, I think they're in the 10th spot right now in the division. So fortunate for us that this may be a game we can limit our percentage given up and hang a few points on them and give ourselves still a chance to make the grand final.
Voice of Dan Sarbacher. Sars, thanks for joining us. You're going to stick around, do some special comments in the third quarter.
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
You're the best. We're going to step aside ourselves. The third quarter is imminent as the Liberty lead 33-6 over West Brunswick. We'll be back after this. You're watching the 2017 USA Liberty Tour of Australia here on USAFL.com.
Beautiful San Diego, home of the 2017 USAFL Nationals, including, for the first time, an Australian division. Imagine kicking off your end-of-season footy trip in this amazing US city, with your club playing in the biggest football tournament in the world.
Black Chrome Sportswear designs and manufactures custom sportswear with a focus on quality and reliability. We're Australian, we've got 10 years experience, and we've got a US base in Oklahoma. Who better to trust than an Aussie company for your AFL gear? Get your customized men's and ladies' AFL uniforms, outerwear and training gear from Black Chrome. Black Chrome's custom compression can enhance performance and recovery, reduce lactic acid, and accelerate your warm-up. Black Chrome is trusted by a number of AFL leagues, including the USAFL, as their official supplier. Try out our Design Your Own tool and see Black Chrome's full range of sportswear at blackchromeusa.com. Join us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Back here at Royal Park for the third quarter. This game between the USA Liberty and West Brunswick, and it's USA Liberty 4 goals 9-33. West Brunswick 1 straight 6. Brian Barish with you alongside Matthew Cox. On special comments for this third quarter is Dan Sarbacker, assistant coach of the USA Revolution. As the ball goes back into the middle and we get set. Now we will be told we were playing 17.5-minute quarters for each of the last 2 quarters, which is good because it'll make our trip over to Melbourne University a little bit easier. Umpire Will getting the ball into the middle of the ground now. So all just about in readiness. And they've already... No, I think because... So have it. So, all right. So we should be ready to go now. Siren. All right, third quarter about to get underway. Let's go Liberty. Let's go Matthew Cox.
Thank you very much, Brian Barish. Ball back underway in the middle here at Royal Park. The wind has picked up during the halftime break, which could make things a little more tricky going forward. Liberty kicking into the wind, but it's the Magpies that gets the first clearance. Inside attacking 50, bouncing ball. Chasing after it here is Deal. Gets around traffic and a spiralling kick back in towards the middle. Sticking out the one hand there was Mulligan. Couldn't bring it in. Ball on the deck in dispute. Should be all wrapped up. And eventually the handball's given out of the pack to Mullen, who goes towards centre wing on the broadcast side. Good tackle there applied by Smith, unrewarded. Liberty just pushing it forward here at the moment. Mullen again involved. Flick the handball out of the pack to Silvio. And I'll let you take over, Brian, because I can't see.
As the ball goes out of bounds for a boundary throw in. Well, now I know how soccer commentators on those 150-year-old grounds in England feel, because feel like I'm trying to peek out my front window and check out the footy, when in fact it's a boundary throw in. As the Liberty are pushing again as the ball goes to ground. Barbara Axthelm trying to hold away some players. Silvio is in there, and then it's picked up by Even, and that ball is ski jumped high into the air, looking for Algazin, tried to make it with a one-handed catch and couldn't. Pops over the head of Leslie, and then stacks balls on the ground, and then picked up. There's Silvio, kicks it right into a defender, and then handballed back, again looking for Leslie, and the ball, or rather for Even, and then it's kept up, and there is O'Brien, who takes that one on the wing position. That one is over and out of bounds once again, off the hands of Leilani Silvio. Pretty good action so far, and I'll tell you what, we've talked about this, SARS, a couple of times on broadcast past, how the quality of the women's game is getting that much better. Yeah,
absolutely. I think the Liberty side, in concept, is probably the reserves or the development side for the women's program. In reality, this is probably a combination of new...
Nelson kicks for goal, and that one is taken by the wind and blown off to the side for one behind. So 3-10-34 to 1 straight 6. And on paper, it looks like the Liberty are in need of a compass or some other sort of directional apparatus, as they have kicked their 10th behind. Continue, please, SARS.
Yeah, I think there's probably a combination of veterans and newcomers in this. So the standard in this is probably higher than you'd see with absolute side full of newcomers.
Algazin with the interception, and she's going to line up for her 4th. The wind is now blowing from right to left from her perspective. The kick is on the way. It's a wounded duck. Looked like a Tony Romo pass, picked up by Barbara Axthelm. Handballs that one into the middle. They handball it around. Out goes in. They'll probably get another chance. No, it's picked away. Here's Leslie bootlegging around. Left-footed driving kick in towards the sticks, and that has gone through. It's hit the post. Another minor score. 3-11-35 for the Liberty, and West Brunswick 1 straight 6. Can you see over there now, Coxie?
I think I can. Ball back into play. West Brunswick get it towards the half-back flank on the outer side. It's turned over, though, and the Liberty are going to go back inside, attacking 50. Kick, falls top of the goal square. Trying to get a quick kick away there was Peterson. It goes over the boundary line and out of play. We'll throw it in. Forward pocket on the broadcast side. No, it went out on the full. So free kick will go the way of the Magpies. Back pocket, broadcast side. High ball towards the 50 arc, and a good mark is taken there by Bowling. Bowling has the footy on her defensive 50-metre arc for the Magpies. High ball, up and under kick. Good fist there applied by Sikora. Goes to ground. Liberty kick it back along that boundary line, very close, bounced at right angles and goes over and out of play, just inside attacking 50. 4.5 into the third term here at Royal Park. 4:11:35 plays one straight 6.
That's here on USAFL.com, and we'll get the SARS in a moment because he has a connection on the women's side in the USAFL history. Leslie kicks that one off. That one sprayed off to the right. It stays in play. And the Magpies through Luca now trying to keep that in. Centering ball in front. It squirts off to the left and then paddled on over by Skonechny looking for Algozen. Michaels is there. Algozen throws that one into the middle. Peterson will line up and that one goes off to the left. And another minor score. 3:12:36 now for the Liberty and one straight 6 for West Brunswick. They are getting their chances, but Bill Robert, our buddy over at Stateside Footy, his first law of footy is you kick too many behinds, you get your behind kicked. And I mean, they have a 30-point lead as that one goes back into the middle again, and then picked up there by Lawley, Tess Lawley. Can't get it out, and that one again rolls in towards the sticks, and again another minor score. 3:13:37 for the Liberty at West Brunswick, one straight 6. And SARS, mentioned you have a connection to the women's side. Your sister, Jenny, not only played for, won a premiership with the Milwaukee Lady Bombers, but also played on that first Freedom Tour.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to get asked on the staff for that tour on coaching what we think is the first international tour of any kind for women's footy. And Jenny was a really crack player. She picked up the game a few years after I did, and a few premierships with the Atlanta women's side, 1 or 2 with the Milwaukee women's side, and really enjoyed her time here. 4 matches in Sydney and around Victoria.
And I reckon we've got a goal here, guys. It was kicked off the ground. It was at the top of the goal square for the Liberty. And I've got a feeling, was that Silvio that might have put it through for the Liberty?
16?
Yes.
Then it is Leilani Silvio, who now we talk about players bouncing around, Coxie. She began with the Boston Lady Demons when she was living in New England, moved to the West Coast, actually moved to Southern California, and the nearest club to her was either San Francisco or Sacramento. She played with the Suns and helped start the Los Angeles Dragons women's side along with Eileen Yoon and Lauren Sullivan, and that's a pretty good base with a player like her.
So she's done everything.
Absolutely. She's like me. She wears a lot of hats.
Ball back inside 50 for the Liberty. They go to ground. The handball given off, and now a quick kick from that lady there, and Silvio goes inside attacking 50 with the kick. Magpies holding up in defence, looking for O'Brien on the half-back flank broadcast side. Just went through her fingers. Liberty with another opportunity to go inside attacking 50. It's cut off. West Brunswick just trying to get it away, clear it from that half-back region. On the deck, trying to use the body there was Fletcher for the Magpies. It's back on the deck, shoveled out there by the USA Liberty. It's pushed back towards the boundary line on the broadcast side. It was kept in play and now goes over the boundary line on the half-forward flank. And that was Balsley?
Yep.
Balsley? There we go.
You can just call her.
One.
Yeah, that's one. Yay! Tick it off. Well, you can just call her Balls. As the ball comes back in the play. No, that's her nickname is Balls.
Oh.
I'm not. There's nothing steady on. Nothing in that as the ball comes back in the play. Listen, it can't be any worse than Anthony Butt in Austin, whose nickname is Seymour. There's some pretty weird nicknames in the U.S.
Yeah, I think one of the things the Aussies have brought to the game in the States is very clever nicknames. No shortage of creativity when it comes to naming their mates.
As the ball comes back in off the ball up. And the ball comes back in the play, straight into the middle of the ground. There's Saki. Saki keeps it. She's going to circle around. She's going to square up and kick for a goal. It's a wounded duck down in front, looking for Peterson. Couldn't get to it. Cleared out by the Magpies. And they are playing very desperate defense. It comes to Cuoca. Cuoca kicks for a goal. It sails off out of the hands of Algozin, and the wind seemed to blow that one, and then clearing that one, looking for O'Brien on the near side, and it's out of bounds. 4-13, 43, 5-13, and a partridge in a pear tree. 43 to 1 straight 6 for West Brunswick as we travel through the third quarter. Brian Barish alongside Matthew Cox and Dan Starbacker. Ball comes back in the play quickly. It's marked defensively by the number 5 in Cass Smith, and they'll have a chance to clear their lines. Coxie.
So Smith with the ball in her hands comes back towards the broadcast wing, but it's all Liberty, and they'll get another kick back inside attacking 50 through even. Magpies defence, it's held up well under pressure. Liberty get a flying handball out of the contest. Osthoff chasing after it, keeps the ball in play, a flying shot on goal. He's through for a minor score.
West Brunswick would be happy forcing so many inaccurate kicks at this point, but they're really struggling to break out. The Liberty have kind of gummed things up for them, particularly on the wing, as these rebound efforts have gotten repulsed and actually set back into 50 again.
5-14-44 to 1 straight 6, and you can't really blame the wind because it's really only picked up here in the third quarter. At least that's how it's felt in the commentary box, because we've only started feeling it in the third quarter, and I'm regretting losing one of my gloves here at Royal Park the other day as that one goes back in towards the sticks. Marked by Skonechny, who almost had to take that one in self-defense to save her pretty face, and now she'll go back and take a kick from dead in front. So here is Skonechny. The kick is on the way. It is dead center perfect, and the USA Liberty have their 6th, and Skonechny has her 2nd. 6-14-50 to 1 straight 6.
Good illustration there, Brian, of West Brunswick trying to break out the other side. Tried to take the goal kick out the other direction that time. It actually opened up a pocket for the Liberty to rebound back into, and they found that mark right out in front of goal.
The ball being brought back to the middle. 11 minutes into the third term. We're playing 17.5 minutes quarters in this second half here at Royal Park. Ball back underway in the middle, and the Liberty are going to get the clearance. Barbara Axthelm goes inside attacking 50 with the kick. Comes off hands. Magpies again under pressure in defence. Goes to ground. And they try and get a handball out of the pack. A lot of players around the footy. Webb tried to get a quick kick away. It was okay towards the half-back line. A lot of players again around the footy, extracting at Martin, got the handball over the top. But again, they're held up. Ball bobbling around. The umpire should call for it here, and he does. Half-forward flank, outer side for the Liberty. 6-14-50 plays 1 straight 6 on the half-forward line for the USA. There's a little bit of push and shove. The umpire says, give it to me, I will ball it up. Still on the half-forward flank, outer side.
Ball somewhere behind that giant light post, which is in front of it, as we've been behind every sort of man-made barrier for this one, but great to see footy on an absolutely beautiful day here in Melbourne as Valerie Barbara Axthelm throws that one on to the right, and that one's going to be intercepted, and West Brunswick will have a chance to draw up another attack here. One thing the Liberty have gotten, their defenders have gotten, I wouldn't say minimal work, but they haven't gotten as much as they did the other day and the other night when they played Monash University and lost 56-1. Here they're getting most of the scoring shots, and now they'll move that one in. Osthoff had it and is going to get paid the mark. Brianna Osthoff just took a juggling chest mark, and now she'll go back and have a chance for her first on the tour. So the Minnesota frees forward, kicks that one on the way. It's a wounded duck, but it might be there. And it's there for a goal with her assistant hanging on to her. Sometimes you need a little help, and that is 6-14-56 for the Liberty. It's now an even half-ton. It's West Brunswick 1 straight 6, and a goal by Brianna Osthoff.
I think that's a first for me, Brian. The koala bear and the little one as goal umpires there. It was a team effort, the signal for that one.
Hang on, I need to correct there. It's not a koala bear.
You're right.
It's a koala.
And I knew that as soon as I said that. It's not a bear. I should know better.
Ball back underway in the middle. Arundel flicked the handball across to Quokka. And the ball just being pushed backwards there by Marsden for the Magpies. Opens an opportunity for the Liberty across half forward. They've dominated the inside 50s, that's for sure, the USA this morning. They work it by hand, trying to spin their way out of trouble. Arundel on the half forward line. Wanted to go inboard with the handball. Nelson was chasing after it, went to ground and now is wrapped up. And we'll get a ball up half forward area for the Liberty. 7:14:56. They lead by 50 points here at Royal Park. Arundel flicked the handball off again. Long kick inside attacking 50. Just went over the top of the contest. West Brunswick in defence. Oh, under pressure, tried to get a hurried kick away. And is there a whistle? No, there's not. Liberty. I believe there's another game being played on the oval behind us, which is why we might be hearing some of the whistles.
And those are just soccer whistles, so don't worry about that.
As West Brunswick try and get a handball out of the pack. Just being pushed around at the moment. O'Brien goes in after it. So too Arundel, who got the handball out of the pack. Getting wrapped up now is Bowling. Been able to move it towards half back, the Magpies. Just need a clear possession. Dexter got stripped of the footy. Umpire calls play on. Liberty kick it back inside attacking 50 along the carpet again. The Magpies are held up at the top of the goal square. Tackles going left, right and centre. Just getting boot to ball there was Tess Laurie. And the ball is close to the score line, but it's all wrapped up. No, we'll get a behind. No, the goal umpire is just waving to someone.
Waving up in the trees. Ball up in the air as Peterson had a swing and a miss there. Tapped out in front, Skonechny, and that one met the wall of white and black. Still in play, right in the shadow of the behind post. Look at this pressure by the Liberty as they have kept them maroon in, and the ball goes over and out for Georgia Westbrook. It's great to see SARS. It's great to see them put the offensive pressure on, especially a game after they lost by 63 points and can only manage one scoring shot.
Yeah, you always like to bounce back after a loss. Obviously, you'd like to see them kick a little straighter.
Like there?
Oh, they might have just done so as I...
Leilani Silvio has kicked a goal. That is her second of the game and another goal, and that takes them on to 62 points.
8-14.
Thank you. 8-14, 62 to West Brunswick, one straight 6.
We joke about the koala pair waving the sticks, but it's something that's not very familiar in the States with sports that are so school-centric. The club atmosphere here in Australia is really a new experience for a lot of the players, so I think people really enjoy seeing how many people come out and have to contribute and volunteer to make a footy game go on the day, whether it's at a park like this or at a local club. It's really quite an immense effort, but really a community driver to bring all those people together.
And we saw that at Bulleen Templestowe the other night, and we saw that with the Revolution at Montrose, Coxie.
And the same here too. A lot of West Brunswick people. It's not an official game for the club, but the fact that they're all here and watching on is fantastic. As it's back underway on the outer wing, West Brunswick trying to move it forward again. Arundel, I reckon, is getting leather poisoning this quarter. She's been in the thick of things. She was too in the second term. Ball stripped away there by Sikora, but it's all wrapped up. The umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. Centre wing, outer side. As the three-quarter time siren is about to sound.
Hit it again.
As everyone else had stopped apart from the players with the ball. And we finally have a three-quarter time.
If we're going to give the umpire stick about anything, we might give the fact that he can't hear it. I'm sure he can't. It's good because you can't have rabbit ears. But in any event,
credit to the players. Maybe they're talking enough on the field, making it hard on the umpire to hear.
way to put the spin on it, SARS. Good job, man.
Tell he's been media trained.
Yes, in fact, is 8-14, 62 to one straight 6. The Liberty, as we're they're looking at a cute puppy.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. Well, she can go out and play Rover. That's fantastic. We're going to step aside. When we come back, the fourth quarter of play here in this game on the USA Liberty Tour. The Liberty up by 56 points. You're watching the 2017 USA Liberty Tour, and it's here on USAFL.com.
Beautiful San Diego, home of the 2017 USAFL Nationals, including, for the first time, an Australian division. Imagine kicking off your end-of-season footy trip in this amazing US city, with your club playing in the biggest football tournament in the world.
Black Chrome Sportswear designs and manufactures custom sportswear with a focus on quality and reliability. We're Australian, we've got 10 years experience, and we've got a US base in Oklahoma. Who better to trust than an Aussie company for your AFL gear? Get your customized men's and ladies' AFL uniforms, outerwear and training gear from Black Chrome. Black Chrome's custom compression can enhance performance and recovery, reduce lactic acid, and accelerate your warm-up. Black Chrome is trusted by a number of AFL leagues, including the USAFL, as their official supplier. Try out our Design Your Own tool and see Black Chrome's full range of sportswear at blackchromeusa.com. Join us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Back here at Royal Park for the fourth quarter, which is imminent here at the USA Liberty Tour. Liberty up 62-6, and we're going to say goodbye very quickly to Dan Sarbacker. Thanks for joining us up here, and best of luck tomorrow and again, or Tuesday rather, as I get my days again. No coffee. Tuesday as I take on France. That is actually a Monday night, 7:30 p.m. On the east and 4:30 out west. And best of luck. Hey, hopefully we'll see the boys at the MCG on Saturday.
Yeah, thanks for having us, guys, and shout out to everyone back in the States. We've heard of a lot of watch parties getting assembled in the evenings and late at night to watch the Revolution game. So we appreciate all the support and messages everyone's been sending us. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming. As Dan Sarbacker, a legend of the USAFL, and we need to get you in the Hall of Fame if you're not already there.
All in due time.
Yep,
sure.
It'll happen.
Take care.
No worries. Fourth quarter is going to be starting as the teams are in their huddles on that far side. The Liberty leading 62-6 as Matthew Cox has gotten his wind sprints on today and his stairs and his everything else, and is helping out to make sure the camera doesn't switch off. And a pretty good game so far for the most part. I mean, the Liberty, as we said, gotten most of the sway of play, and really the only goal they gave up was on some undisciplined play where they gave up those 2 25s.
Yeah, it was. And I think on the flip side of the coin for West Brunswick, the positives to take out of the game is their defence has been constantly under pressure, and they are holding up okay. It's just that kick that's coming outside defensive 50 that's letting them down in the game. But credit to them, they are a Division 2 side, I believe, in the VAFA, the side that's playing out there today. So credit for them. I believe the season's done and dusted for the VAFA. Grand final next week. So first season of that competition, just shows how much women's footy is growing here in Australia and around the world too.
Yeah, especially we've got those 8 teams playing in the International Cup and seeing new clubs. Of course, the European Crusaders, they're making their debut, as was Pakistan as well as Team GB. And tell you what, Great Britain, we may very well see them at Etihad Stadium. All they have to do is get by a tough Canadian team. Umpire holds the spirit of this great game aloft, and here for the start of the fourth quarter is Matthew Cox.
Thank you very much, Brian Barish. Liberty get the tap down again. Chasing after it and applying a good tackle there as Smith dumps the player into the carpet, who is a little worse for wear after the tackle. Smith will get the free kick for holding the footy, but player is in a fair bit of trouble there on the ground. Just trying to pick up who it was that was tackled with it. She's up on her feet now. Barbara Axholm, yeah, who's had a good game for the Liberty. Not just have had the wind knocked out of her. She is coming from the ground now, but she's running at full pelt, so that's a good sign that she's okay. Smith, wobbly kick. In fact, she tried to retrieve her own footy. Liberty with the numbers. The handball given off on the outside. High kick inside, attacking 50. Contest applied. At the back is McPherson. Got tackled. Liberty again with the numbers. The handball came inboard, searching there for Leslie. Top of the goal square. Leslie puts it through for her first. And the Liberty move to 9-14-68. West Brunswick Magpies 1 straight 6.
That's her third goal of the tour, as she had one at Manor Lakes, and she had one goal as well back on Tuesday night last against Boleen Templestowe. And Leslie, who also has played a couple of games so far on the Freedom, she won't be playing today, obviously, because she's here, but it's good to see. And the one thing about having a second side here, Coxie, is that players that don't play in the International Cup, they can at least stay fresh by getting a run here. So in that respect, it's a good idea and a good job. As here comes Arundel running out. She's going to have a bounce. She's going to square up from 40 meters. Amy Arundel, is it going to get there? Yes, it is! What a great goal by Amy Arundel, who ran out of there as fast as me chasing a meat pie down the downhill. And Amy Arundel has made history. She is the first female footy player from the Philadelphia Hawks to kick a goal in international competition. And that takes them on to 10-14-64. West Brunswick 1 straight 6. Amy Arundel has done all the work of a minor in the middle of the ground, and that was a highlight reel goal for the Liberty, and they extend their lead as they hit double digits in the major score mark.
Yeah, great goal there, and as you say, has been pivotal in the Liberty's performance today. Probably best on ground in my books at the moment as the ball's back underway, especially after that goal. Liberty are going to get another clearance out of the middle. Ball inside, attacking 50, bouncing one for Silvio. She whacks it on the right boot, but it's offline, and a minor score. 10-15-75 plays 1 straight 6 here in Royal Park as we wait for the ball to come back over the fence. And just while we're waiting, I think because we may not get time once we finish the game, just a big thank you to West Brunswick for helping us out with the setup today as well.
Yes, thank you so much, and also thanks to Grace down there as the mark is picked off. Here is Jess Nelson, and she sprays that off to the left. Well, they are queuing up. It looks like a new iPhone's been released at the way they're going, at the rate that they're lining up for chances at goal, as it's now a 70-point point lead, 10-16-76. Not the prettiest of score lines, but they are getting their opportunities. And there's another interception by Silvio, who will line up for her third. And Leilani Silvio, who was originally born in Brazil, she kicks that one on the right. Hey, that's a good kick. Did that sneak in? Yes, it did. Oh, yes, it did. What a great goal by Leilani Silvio as she pulled a banana out of her back pocket and traded it in for a goal. 11-16-82 for the Liberty. And they are just absolutely just finding the spots on those kick-ins, not letting them have any sort of room on those kick-ins. And most importantly, the kick-ins have been a little bit wayward, but good awareness by the forwards. That's what you got to do. You're always playing defense on those kick-ins from the back line.
And they're playing with a lot of purpose in this quarter too. They're looking to attack, they're looking to go direct, and they're going to do that again. Another clearance out of the middle. It's Arundale again, although she just lost the footy across half forward. Pack collides. Ball on the deck in dispute. Should all be wrapped up. And eventually it spills out the back of the pack. Liberty again with the numbers. Short kick's going to fall in the hole. Picked up here by Leslie. Is she going to get another one? She does. Her second. And the Liberty are on fire. 12-16-88 plays one straight 6-5 gone final term.
Well, my goodness, they are hotter than Phoenix, Arizona in the middle of July, and that's now an 82-point lead. And Leslie, Arundale, Silvio, they are all, whatever it is, and I'll tell you what, the ruck in there, a great job by, I don't even know who's in the ruck now. I believe that's Stablin. But whoever it is, more important to the fact that they're getting the hitouts. They're getting the hitouts to advantage. And it's actually, yeah, it is, I'm sorry, that's actually Mullen who's in the ruck. And Mullen's doing a fantastic job. More importantly, they're running with her in support. That time, not as easy as it comes back into the middle. As Berniarski turns with it, ball goes to ground. It finds the 47 in there, which is Hannah Marston. And West Brunswick, who really hasn't had anything in the forward 50 since the first, trying to get it forward. Nelson had to go off of her fingertips. There is Ferrucci. Jen Ferrucci, we call for the first time. Handballs it up over for Arundale. Arundale's got room to maneuver. She'll kick that one inside 50, looking for Silvio, who dropped it. She stayed with the footy. Silvio winds up the post, kicks for goal, and splits them again. Another goal. That's 4 for Silvio. And the Liberty, it's too early for that. Hello, Mrs. Brady. That's 94 as they are closer to the time. It's 94-6. And Silvio, the Los Angeles Dragon, now has 4.
Great vision there from Amy Arundale. Could have blasted away there and had a shot herself, but saw Silvio coming into the corridor, tried to hit her up. Didn't quite take the mark, but still kicked the goal, which is the more important thing.
And second bite at the cherry, very, very important there as they go back through the middle again.
And they're trying to get the clearance. O'Brien applies the tackle for the Magpies. And the umpire says, give it to me, I will ball it up. 13-16-94 plays one straight 6 here in Royal Park. The tap went the way of Mulligan for the Magpies. It's back on the deck in dispute. Smith at the bottom of it. And the umpire again says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. Puts it into the air as the breeze again just picks up ever so slightly here at Royal Park. Where the conditions have been great this morning. Ball on the deck, Liberty. Pick it up. Ferrucci. Got the handball away. Arundale again involved in this passage of play. She's wrapped up. The umpire says...
Free kick?
No. Held on to the whistle there, the umpire. Let things go. Liberty with the numbers across half forward. They'll kick it back inside attacking 50. On the deck. Getting the quick kick away was Dexter. Got shoved off the ball as she got rid of the kick. Ball just being pushed around. Again, the Liberty go towards the top of the square and they've got a mark.
Ferrucci.
And the name we haven't called through too many times, except for the last quarter, lining up for goal. Oh, kicked it into Dexter on the mark. Back on the deck in dispute. Silvio going in after it. Extracted the Pell. Got it to her teammate who has put it through.
For behind, it looks like. Yeah, hit the post.
That's a shame.
Yeah,
13-17-95.
Yep, that was Peterson who kicked that one, and she deserved a goal because she's been doing a lot of hard work in the forward line. By the way, in case you're wondering, this is in fact a record most points in a game by the Liberty as 95. They're looking for the taunt. Nice mark off of Peterson, and the mark was taken by Lucy Mulligan, who's played really, really well in the back line, had a fair bit of touches for West Brunswick, and the ball has tumbled out of bounds as the Australian tradition of picking it out from in between one of the car's tires. And that one, I believe, had gone out on the full, so it'll be a free kick. As here is Mullen, who kicks that one into the middle, and there's that girl Mulligan again. So Mullen kicked it, and it's picked off by Mulligan. She'll take a look around. She has Finns to the left, Finns to the right, goes down the left side of the ground, dropped, picked off, and then scuttled forward, but nope. They paid the mark. They paid the mark by Quokka, told to play on. Throws that one onto the left, intercepted again, and picked up by, not by Logan, but by Dexter. And out to the near side. Picked up as now stacks on the mill. Looks like a rugby maul. Picking it up was Marsden again. Marsden continues up. And now here is Stablin. Karen Stablin throws that one onto the right. And Mulligan catches that one like Willie Mays out in center field of the Polo Ground circa 1954. And the ball rolls out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. 95 plays 6. The Liberty to the lead. The ball's been on this side of the field most of this quarter here, Coxie.
And we've gone 10 minutes in the final term. Ball back underway. Magpies get a clearing kick through Bodle. Defensive side of the outer wing. They can't get a clearing kick beyond that. Liberty are going to come back inside it, attacking 50 through Sikora. Bouncing ball close to the boundary line. Magpies keep it in play. O'Brien chasing after it, trying to apply the pressure. Magpies with the numbers around the footy again. Deal fighting for it for the Liberty. Eventually it's a hurried kick away from the contest. Going to ground there, Peterson's able to extract it. Just popped the handball into the direction of Dexter, who gets taken into the turf. And the umpire, no, says, give it to me, I'll ball it up.
I don't think Dexter realized, she thought it was a kick. That's why she stopped and put the ball up. So ball back in the air, straight in front, as Michaels wins that one down. Arundel swing and a miss. Shipley Snyder is in there as well. And then it's picked up as Even couldn't get to it. And here they come back the other way through Cass Smith. Up that far side of the ground, and the ball is taken down. And out of all of that, it's going to be, I don't know. What is it?
Holding the ball.
Thank you. All looks the same from here, and it's Kaylin Deal of the Boston Lady Demons, one of a number of women, of presidents on the women's contingent of USAFL clubs. Oh, that's a great ball for Silvio, who couldn't pick it cleanly, but she stays with the footy, slaps it to her own advantage, and then holds her man off the ball, holds her player off the ball, my apologies, and Tess Lawley, and that will be a free kick to Lawley, as a good job by Silvio to track it, but gave Lawley a bit of a tug, and you can't do that, as that one comes out to the near side, right in front of the commentary position, out of the hands, looking in there for Alberico. Alberico couldn't get it. Quokka had it smothered, picked up by Berniarski, and that one is held up, and as they do a little shimmy slide over the line for boundary throw-in. 89-point lead to the Liberty, waning moments, fourth quarter.
Ball tossed back into play, goes over the back of the contest, chasing after it is Mullen, got the handball away before she got caught. Webb though intercepted for the Magpies, spilt the pill, ball half forward area for the Liberty. Arundel gave off the handball, high kick inside attacking 50 for the Liberty, came off hands out the back of the pack, under pressure is Bodle being pushed towards the goal line, and it's socked through there by Even, but only for a minor score. 13-18-96 plays one straight 6, 13 gone in the final term, Brian.
Lizzie Even almost had the goal there. She's a captain, and I'll tell you what, having ridden around with the Liberty team, having spent some time with them, she is definitely a born leader. She serves in the armed forces back in the States, and you can really see that she has that in her DNA, and it really has come to the fore on this Liberty tour as the Magpies trying to get some kicks together. Pops up for Mullen, who's going to send it right back at him. Into the middle looking for Silvio, off the head of Ray Hale. And then Silvio stayed with the footy and throws her to the ground, looking at the umpire, who said there was no prior opportunity. Ball up will occur about 30 meters from dead in front. Waiting moments, fourth quarter, as Hale can't get to the footy. She's held off the ball by O'Brien. Mullen, or rather that's Michaels, and O'Brien gets to it right to the near side, bounces in front of Balsley, who will run and chase after it. She looks to her right where she has help, and Amy Arundel, who's been all over the place at a stabby kick, as that one is a worm-burning, finger-breaking mongrel kick, but it comes and it stays with the Liberty out to the near side. Hale throws her body into it, keeps it with her, almost like a hooker in rugby, just paddles the ball to herself, and then Dexter with a handball that was fairly wayward into the hands of Michaels, and Michaels is thrown down there by the 59 in Amy Carter. Looked like some sumo wrestling right there, but in point of fact, and we have a member of the Magpies down, as it is Rachel Dexter. Thank you very much. And actually, I'll tell you what, it's good to see actually Kaylin Deal and Lizzie Even, who are over. I think she might actually just be cramping, is what that is, just by the looks of it.
But immediately went over. A good show of sportsmanship there for,
absolutely,
from the Liberty. They saw that Dexter was in a bit of distress and ran straight to her.
Yep. And so we're going to take a second here to just tell you that, of course, coming up at about the top of the hour, I didn't see a call for time off. I'll leave that to your discretion, as we have about 2 minutes to go. Might actually.
Andy, do I need to pause if the stretch is on? Pause time?
Yeah, we can probably just pause it here as we wait for the stretcher. We'll tell you really quickly that, of course, at the top of the hour, right abouts, we'll have the European Crusaders and the USA Freedom in the International Cup. Now, a couple of notes here. If you're watching on this stream, we are going to have a different stream for you, so keep an eye on youtube.com/USAFL1997. Also on our Facebook page, facebook.com/USAFL, on Twitter at USAFL1997. We'll have the new link up for you. And the other thing to bear in mind is that Coxie and I, well, we're going to haul our buns over there and try and get set up as quickly as possible. So if we're not there for the first moment of the game, for the opening minutes, we beg your indulgence as we get set up. But in any event, it will be a very good game down at Melbourne University. Very important game for the Freedom as a win, and for all intents and purposes, they're on to the semifinals.
Yeah, big game, and a curtain raiser too ahead of a VFL Women's game a little later on this afternoon. Melbourne University taking on Cranbourne in that competition. The Muggers up towards the top end of the table as Dexter begins to come from the ground on the stretcher. Still in a little bit of discomfort, unfortunately for her. Has been one of the stronger players inside defensive 50 for the Magpies today. Got a lot of the footy and tried to get it out of, well, they've been under fire most of the day.
Yeah, it looked like a cramp initially, but the fact that they're carrying her off, but we hope she's okay, of course. And we've got about 2 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter as the avalanche, that's my fault, the avalanche of goalpost pads have come down. That's what it was sort of like, I'll rest my foot on that thing, and it all comes down. So the umpire with the footy. And again, 13-18-96 to West Brunswick, 1 straight 6. The ball goes up in the air. That was actually to time back on, and that one is scuttled through. Can the U.S. hit a ton here as Nelson is in there? Big tackle by Even, stayed to the ground. Getting that one out there was Cordy. Up the left side now, and chasing after it, keeping it away from Algoza. There was Westbrook. They stayed with the football, and now here they come back the other way. Arundel throws that one onto the right, into the mixing machine, out of the way. Oh, that's set up nicely. There's Peterson, just put it home. Yes, sir! Caitlin Peterson. Well, that was like a backswing in golf. Just came right back at her. She could not have asked. It was like a snail that just all of a sudden you dropped it on the ground and it stopped. And the U.S. Liberty have hit the ton as they go to, what is that, 15-18 102?
14-18.
14-18, 102. Thank you so much to West Brunswick 6.
Thank the iPad.
Yep, thank you so much.
The Rock, she's American.
Oh, who is she? Oh, Erin McLaughlin. Thank you so much. Not on the sheet, but she is American. Do you know where she's from? Somewhere in the Midwest. Go ahead, Coxie.
There we go. A bit of information coming through. Ball towards centre half forward again for the Liberty. Webb came in, got crunched. Umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. On the centre half forward area for the Liberty. Dominant performance from them this morning as they slap it back inside attacking 50. Peterson again, flick the handball out of the contest. And then they're just trying to push it, slap down there. Well, Burko came off to Peterson. Peterson has a flying shot on goal and puts it through for her second. As the final siren sounds here at Royal Park, 15-18, 108, a 102-point victory to the USA Liberty. West Brunswick Magpies 1 straight 6.
And the result belies a great effort by the Magpies, who had a lot of defensive sway through Lucy Mulligan. O'Brien had a lot of touches, and but a great job by the Liberty. I mean, you can't ask for any more than that. They played very well up and down the park. The defense wasn't tested. They came up, they got a little bit more involved through Deal, through Even, and the rest, and a great job there as Leilani Silvio led everyone with 4 goals. If you just want to run over the goal scorers here.
Yeah, 4 goals to Silvio, 3 to Algozan, 2 each to Leslie and Peterson, and then singles to Arundel and Osthoff.
And also 2 from Skonechny. You tried to
I missed that one.
You tried to avoid it. And of course the lone goal from West Brunswick to Freya Logan. That'll do it for us. Remember, there will be a new stream for the game at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. The USA Freedom and the European Crusaders. So keep an eye again on Facebook.com/USAFL, Twitter at USAFL1997, and on the YouTube channel USAFL1997. For Matthew Cox, this is Brian Barish saying so long from Royal Park.